Okay, and then we're going to try it. That was at 74, so now we'll go for it at a little bit slower tempo. So what I would recommend is when you practice this to play it through at a slower tempo, thinking of the 6/8 in 6/8 notes to a bar, 1, 2, and 3, and so let's try that like that real quick. We're going to go in slow motion here. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 3, 4, 5. There's a few things that I'm doing here. First of all, the grace notes at the faster tempo will be just kind of part of the F. So, and I find it easier if instead of playing the B flat like this for the grace notes, if I were to keep my right hand 1, 2, 3 down and the 3 in the left hand and play my B flat like this and then just close the rest like this to get to the D grace note and then just up to the F. Instead of covering everything, having everything open for the B flat. And we also do that covered fingering for the A and for the throat B flat. So for the A, I often will put down 3 here, 3, and my low F key. You can hear the difference in sound, and also sometimes I'll even put my entire right hand down, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the low F key. For the B flat as well. The tempo of this piece in 6/8, let me come back again to the counting. The 6/8 can be counted 6/8 notes to a bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this is marked at dotted quarter note equals 68 to 74. So if I put it at 68 like this, it's presuming that I'm going to divide each of those pulses into 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and. So what my recommendation is when you practice this, slow this down enough, first starting with a pulse on every single beat, and then eventually have it just 2 pulses per bar, but have it slow enough that you're feeling like you have control of the piece. Okay. There are some times when we have a downbeat of an 8th note, and like on the 4th line down, the D flat. And I'm tending to play those 8th notes as long notes. Let's actually talk about that bar. The bar, it's the 4th line down with the D flat, and just be sure that you're playing the correct accidentals. So on the second large beat, the B flat goes to an A and then an A flat and then to a G flat directly. And I'm using a chromatic fingering, which is my thumb here, no register key, just the thumb, and the bottom side 2 keys. So if I were to do a chromatic scale in that context, like that, and I'm using that fingering there. Like that. Be sure that you play all the articulations marked. If it's marked slur, do the slur. Let's see, the line below that is also, the beginning of the line has a D flat. And I find it helpful once you get this under your finger, again, practice this very slowly with an 8th note on every beat. Once you get the notes and the accidentals under your fingers, I find it helpful to think of it in 2 instead of in 6. That way I can emphasize each large beat with a little bit of an accent. Okay, we go, the notes past that on the 5th line down have these little sort of upside down arrows, and those are a little bit of an accent, a little bit of a separation. So a little louder than just a staccato note, but also a little bit separated instead of just legato notes. And then after that, there's a series of passages where we have repeated notes, starting on A flat, the fifth line down at the end of that line. And I like to put a little bit of an emphasis on each one of those so that we feel where the actual sort of baseline of this piece is going. Overall, whenever you're playing these pieces, number one, you want to learn all the notes correctly, all the rhythms correctly, considering the key signature, etc. But then after that, you want to think about, well, not after, actually, at the same time, you'd like to consider all your phrasing as well. So that's why I like to look at those important structural notes. One word about tempo for you. When you play this through with the in the audition, make sure that you don't play this any faster than you can execute the thing well. So if you feel like you can't get it up to 68, that's fine. Play it at a tempo that you can play it very musically. That's the most important thing. Good, clear rhythm and musical execution. Let's see if we can just run through some of this at a slower tempo so you can hear what it sounds like slower. Maybe we'll start it at 55. Etc. And so that's, I had a wrong note in there at the end. So, but that's a good feel for what a tempo can be like at a slower tempo, an execution at a slower tempo. Okay, good. Thank you so much, everyone, and please let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to meeting you sometime, and good luck on your auditions.